So when it comes to digging a bucket seat, you want to think about the line that you're going to be belaying the person up in from below. So you want to stay nice in line with the line of the rope that you've just sort of ascended from. Once you've decided on the area that you're going to dig, you need to make sure that you've got enough snow around you and that the depth of the snow is kind of suitable for digging a bucket seat, and that might require a bit of a sort of prodding and poking or a bit of an analysis of the sort of snow slope around you. The initial part of the bucket seat that I'm going to dig I would call the letterbox, and that's going to be the front face of it. So I'm literally going to open up a hole on this side and then dig away from myself, always clearing back into that initial hole that I've dug. And I want this to be just wider than my sort of hips, with enough room for me to sort of happily sit back into it. So just going to open up this hole and then bring the letterbox across the slope. With the letterbox, you want it to be across the fall line, and the front face, which is going to be this side of the letterbox, is going to be the side that you're sitting against. So that needs to be perpendicular to the slope, or sort of right angles to the slope. Once I've opened up a letterbox and created a bit of space in here, I'm then going to think about where I actually need to sit in the sort of bucket seat. I'm just going to scribe a bit of a template so I know roughly the area that I need to work in. If this snow was soft, I'd then look at clearing it straight away. But because this snow is very firm, I'm actually going to come across and just scribe a bit of a cross or hatches into the snowpack itself. So cross one way, always being careful, cover up the spike, cross the other way. And what that allows me to do is clear the snow out quite easily. So I've got my letterbox space at the front here, and now what I'm looking to do is just to start shaving off the snow and working my way back into the bucket seat area, creating a hollow that's deep enough for me to happily sit into. As I'm digging, I need to keep coming back to this front face. I need to keep clearing the rubble out that I've dug and keep returning to this front face and clearing that out, making sure it's perpendicular to the slope and deep enough to hold me on. The best way to find out whether a bucket seat fits or not, whether it's big enough for you or not, is just to come and sit into it. When you're sat into your bucket seat and it's fitting well, you still want to have enough room to manoeuvre your legs so you can kick your heels in, because that helps with your kind of management of being solid in your bucket seat. With the front face of the bucket seat, which is a bit in behind your thighs, that wants to be perpendicular to the slope. If it's too steep an angle, it'll draw your knees up and you can't body belay well then. If it's too shallow, all you're going to make then is a launching platform to fire yourself out if the person was to fall. So having that perpendicular angle. You don't want the snow to come all the way up behind your knees and start lifting them off the slope. So having a bit of room between the knees is really nice. As for the size of it, I need enough room to be able to manoeuvre my hands happily when I'm body belaying. But I don't want to be swimming around in it, but I also don't want it to be so small that it's restricting any of my movement. As you can see here, I've dug a bucket seat that I can fit in without my rucksack on. If I had my rucksack with me, I would have it a little stance dug out to the side and have my rucksack safe in that stance. Or even better, leave your rucksack on, dig your bucket seat a little bit bigger, and then when you come to wear the rope to body belay, your rucksack gives you quite a lot of good padding and protection to help belay somebody up the slope.